Greetings to all of you here. I am Saranya Narayanamurthy. So today I am here to give you something which is really productive for you, and all of you must know about this. We all go to work, we all go to a workplace, we meet a lot of new people, we are all a part of a lot of organizations or workshops and quite a lot of things. But how do we think about going on there, or how do we think about being a part of such an organization? Have you ever heard about organizational behavior? Okay, so now half of you might have heard about this, and there is quite a chance that many of you don't know about it. Because in schools or in our UG, we are not taught this. We are taught how to score marks, how to really go on to an organization, how to secure a job, but not how to behave over there. So today I am going to give you a detailed gist of what organizational behavior is and how it originated. Okay, so this is what this session is about to be. Firstly, what is organizational behavior? When we meet a group of people or when we are a part of an organization. So firstly, what is an organization? An organization is a group of entities, okay, or a single entity with a group of departments into it which has an organized plan. So organization simply stands for an entity which functions with an organized plan. Now you might say, okay, I am going to a park, so should I also take organizational behavior over there? No, you should not. Because in a park, people are not as organized as in a headquarters, right? So that is why in such cases, organizational behavior doesn't come into a point. And secondly, what is organizational behavior? The way we mediate through it and the way we respond to certain queries over there, and more than that, we can say how you react, how you set your attitude there, how you play your own game over there. That is what organizational behavior exactly means. It is about the attitude which you carry, the leadership skills, the way you dress up. You cannot dress up with a funky hairstyle and go to your organization, even though they have those cool dress codes. It is something which actually brings you down, right? Because your dress is more like your image. If you ruin it, you ruin yourself completely, right? So all these are properly formatted and taught to you in a well executable format through organizational behavior. Now you might have a clear idea. Okay, so now this organization behavior might contain your behavioral standards and the way you dress, which is your image management, and then communication, vocabulary skill, the kind of language which you should use, because you are totally defined by how you react also, right? So all these comes under organizational behavior. Now, if you type on Google or if you just ask someone, anybody who has a good knowledge of this particular field will be able to give a clear gist of each and every element of it. Now, just like as I told, communication or dressing or behavior, your attitude, leadership, every sort of things. Lot of people will be able to give you that. But today, I am here to tell you something which is interesting, or which at least I found interesting, and something which you really need to know in case if you want to excel in organizational behavior. And that is origin of organizational behavior. Before we master every skill, one thing that we need to have a keen idea on is how they landed on that skill, right? If you are someone who is learning to construct a car engine, take for an example. So you should know how the previous person constructed the car engine. Why did he place this particular component in this particular field? Only then you will know how you should modulate it, or why is it so important for you, right? Same way, for this organizational behavior, I am here to take you through the path of how this originated and how it is the way it is right now. So first, let's go back to the primitive age, okay? 1898, that was the year when Chesner Bernard, he was the first person who really came up with an ideology that people of an organization or any human being, take for an example, when they are left independent, they behave in a different way. But when they are put inside a group of organized entity, they behave in a totally different way. So this difference in behavior was totally studied by Chester Bernard. That is when people came up, so why is it this way? Is it so, okay, so just think, how is it that I am in one form in place A and another form in place B? What is really causing the change in my behavior? That is what made people so curious, and they ventured next. they went on to dig in more deeper, and they started mining. And what next? In 1920s, people came to know that the surroundings in which we work, or the setup of the place, and whatnot, even the way people interact, the way your managers are, that will totally put a major concern over the productivity. So at that time, people started being more productive. What they did, the managers put in some certain strategies into their humanoids or their employees or their lower level subordinates, and they started getting more productivity out of them. That was the time when this organizational behavior was more focused on productivity. So firstly, they identified behaviors, and secondly, they came to an idea that behaviors also go on to your productivity. And now, after knowing the behavior and productivity, the third most important one was Hawthorne works. So what this person named Hawthorne did was, he conducted an experiment. Every time before we invent something or before we discover something, the major thing which we do is experimentation. Because without experimentation, we can find out nothing, right? So, he conducted an experiment. So what did he do? He took out a group of people of an entity, and then he put A, B, C kind of conditions, okay? So, condition A had different kinds of light, different kind of ventilation, and an open space one. Condition B had kind of in a moderate way, not so good as A, nor not so bad as B. So, sorry, not so bad as C. So what did the C have is, it had the very conventional stuffs, like not so bright, not so much ventilated, not so good working conditions. So it was that way. These three were the three different compartments of his experiment. What he discovered was, person A, who was in a really good ventilated space, who was having a good sense of furnitures to work with, and who was given the perfect work condition, worked very less time and produced highest number of quantities. Whereas the person C worked for more number of slothy hours but still produced very less quantities. This is when they derive the productivity equation. Okay, so if we make them happy, they make us happy too. So it is more like the inversion effect is what they derive from this. So now, after all these successive effects, firstly of behavior and then of productivity, and then later on, many people began taking interest in it. Because human resources is one of the major resources, which we all know, we all study that, right? So, if we really have that one success strategy of utilizing the highest amount of human potential, we are done. So when people came to know that these many stuffs are there inside managing people, a lot of people came in, and then organizational behavior was brought up in different standards, and then people started giving in more advancements after advancements after advancement, and by the end of 1980s, that is when people concluded that there are a lot of steps and statistics inside organization behavior. That is when they listed out. So first thing is, know which people you put in on which place. Take in consideration their attitude, their behavior, their working conditions, and their background. That is why even today when you enter into an organization, the interviewer generally sees if you will fit to their culture. Because if you don't fit into their culture, no matter how much of stuffs you have here, you won't be fitting there, right? So that is the first one. Your background, your cultural, your mental, and your attitudinal background. Secondly, how productive or how concentrated are you? Mindset is another major thing. So are you able to concentrate, or are you someone who is involved in multitasking whereas you don't concentrate on anything else? There are people who do multitasking and still have the same amount of concentration. There are also people who just spill out their concentration and don't do any of the work. So they evaluate you based on these two also. So firstly is your work culture, secondly is your work ethics, and third one is your attitude. Trust me guys, this is one of the major breakthrough in organizational behavior actually. If you have the first and second good, but your third one really freaks people out, they are not going to take you in. So that is the third mantra and one of the most important mantras of organizational behavior. And taking in consideration now the name as organizational behavior, you might think it only resonates with the way you behave, the way you talk and all those stuff. But behavior is a summation of every other aspect of you as a human being. What you have here is what you give out in your behavior. If you are someone who is so selfish, your behavior wouldn't be so energetic. It wouldn't be possible. You'll always be thinking all this quality stuff, right? So, organization behavior is something which combines sociology, workology, and anthropology. So, sociology comes under working in social groups and making the proper contents as to how you work between people. Workology is always your work ethics, how you are working, what kind of strategy, what kind of tactics you perform, and all this stuff. Thirdly, anthropology, it's something which deals with your mentalistics, like how you react, what kind of passion you have, and then especially it is something which is biologically related to you, because the name anthropology might sound too technical, but it is something which totally resonates with your behavior. Okay, yeah. So, putting in all of these, I would like to conclude this short or might be the brief session by saying that no matter how many things are inside organization behavior, the first thing starts with you. If you are able to tune yourself right and bring in all your entire mindset and your character together, you get the organization behavior aspects right. So, before you step into the next organization for a job interview, make sure you know in detail about their culture, their behavioral standards, and how it resonates with you. Everyone has different attitudes. Same way, every organization reflects different attitudes. So, if you get this and this matched up, you found your soul job. Okay, so stay tuned, and until then, bye bye.